I claim to be the messenger that humanity is waiting for, or at least one of them. It doesn't make me more important than you are. What is important is the message. Of course, some people on the planet know this message, but they keep it secret, because this is the secret of the secret. So, if you want to, in 1 hour, you're going to be initiated to the key of immortality, to the key of life. Do you want that I prove it? Listen to the message. If you have a consciousness, it's a simple and logical message, and you never hear this message before in the religion or in the New Age. I guess you know that a lot of people say that now in December 2012, it's the time of the apocalypse. Apocalypse means the revelation and not the destruction. And this is the revelation. This is the key of the truth about where are we coming from, what are we doing here, and where are we going to. I know it sounds crazy, but we are here to live an experience, to be sure that our soul understands why the law of love are so important. We can call those laws the divine law, the law of nature, whatever. For this, we come in this reality to explore the exact opposite of the divine law. And the exact opposite of the divine law are what we call our patriarchal culture. We can say that the three religions of the book, the Christian, the Muslim, the Jewish, even if they fight, we can say they have approximately the same way of living. For them, the family is very important, to grow up kids in a nuclear family. The wedding is important. Those are the three most important pillars of the patriarchal. If you take the Pope, for example, because for me those three religions are three faces of the same religion. If we take the Pope, what the Pope say, what the Bible say, the more we suffer in this life, the more we have chance to go in paradise after. So if we are logical, we have to understand that everything those three religions propose to us are made to make us suffer. Do you believe that the divine world is a place where we suffer? Of course not. And I pretend that people like the Pope, they know exactly what they're doing. And in fact, I saw in a dream the future process of the Pope. Because the people will say, but why did you tell all those lies? Why did you pretend to bring the message of the guy we call Jesus Christ and of the different Mary? And in fact, he was teaching exactly the opposite. And he defends himself in a very bright way. He said, but come on, we've been honest. We said to those people, the more you suffer, the more you have to chance to go in paradise after. And they believe us, and they follow us. So, we didn't lie to them. The religion make a very important work, very useful. They are here to be sure we understand why every pillar, every base of the patriarchal culture is here to make us suffer. When you're gonna die, when you're gonna go out of your body, it can be at the moment of your personal life, or it could happen if what many people call the ascension of humanity. Many prophecies say that maybe the 21 of December 2012, Drunvalo Melchizedek say in February, March 2013, The Hinduists say in 2134 that the mankind will raise to the level of human. They're really gonna become human because we're not human yet. Whatever, when you're gonna die, go out of your body, you're gonna go into a kind of tunnel. Many people see that like a tunnel. And in this tunnel, you will have a bright light at the end of this tunnel. And on the side of this tunnel, you will have a lot of doors. So, you will have to choose one of those doors. In English, it's very clear. Many people believe that some people are chosen by the divine. It's bullshit, it's not true. The chosen one means the people who choose by themselves. And what is important is that in this tunnel, you choose not because of the symbolism of the things, but what you have to do is to go through into those doors and to speak with the guardian of those doors, the people who want that you go into those doors, and ask them, in which world are we going to? Which are the law? And if you want my point of view, the key of the key is a very simple sentence. The divine worlds are exactly in complete opposition of the patriarchal culture in every point. I'm going to make a next video after where I will take all the points of the patriarchal culture to show you that of course it leads to suffering. I just give you one example in this film. The story lied to us. Before the year 3000, there was a lot of what we call matriarchal society on the planet. The word matriarchal is wrong because our patriarchal culture gives us a wrong definition of the matriarchal and of the patriarchal. In fact, what we commonly call patriarchal is the opposite of the divine. And what we call matriarchal is the divine. And it's not true that in the matriarchal culture, it's the woman who have the power. No, it's absolutely not true. But what is important is that there is other law. For example, to grow up kids, it's important to understand that the first years of the life of a kid, he needs full attention. Before 3 or 4 or 5 years old, he cannot understand why his father go to work. All what he see is that he left him alone. So the fact to let a baby crying alone in his room, it's not true, it's bullshit. The first years of the life, a kid needs full attention all the time. If suddenly he is alone and he don't want to, it will be terrible for him because he comes from a place where he is fully connected, he's never alone, he's always surrounded by this family of light. And then suddenly he arrives in this world, so the two first person he sees, so of course his mother and then his father. So suddenly for them it's God. He have a huge love for them. And suddenly those parents left him alone. So what's going to happen into his mind? Later he will be scared to love. Because when he will feel this love again, he will be, oh no, I'm scared. Because I'm scared to love so much, because after if they left me, I'm going to suffer too much. So usually people will not dare to let's say, to love people they really love. They will find somebody they don't love too much, but somebody they want to change. In a matriarchal society, a kid will grow up or in a large family with uncle, grandfather, grandmother. He will always have full attention. Of course, the mother will stay the mother. But the father is not so important. Sorry, guys. What is important is that he has a masculine attention all the time. If it's not the case, when he will find love, he will completely overpossess this love. He will be scared that his love go away. That's why we create a wedding, a contract, where you have to sleep in the same bed every night. It's very bad to sleep in the same bed every night, because in the night you need to get out of your body and explore a lot of things and to go back in the divine world. If every night you are stuck in the aura of somebody else, you cannot make this trip. Or let's say you cannot make it and completely meet your divine part, because you are stuck in the energy and in the aura of your partner. It's not that it's a bad energy, but it's not your energy. So sometimes to sleep together, it's okay. But the majority of the time, we need to sleep separate. That's why the patriarchal culture, it's a kind of obligation to sleep in the same bed. Again, the matriarchal society, it's a divine culture. They realize that the most important is the way we grow up kids. If we grow up kids with full attention all the time, those people will have faith in life. They will know they're going to be all time somebody to love. They will not going to make big drama like we, the Western people of this Christian, Jewish, Muslim culture come from. And Buddhists too. So if you go into this matriarchal society, the kids will be much more mature about love. That's going to make all the difference. Because the problem is that after then the people want to possess the people, and once they're going to realize that they're not happy by possessing people, what's they going to do? They want to possess the land. They want to have a fancy car, a fancy house, and they will realize it's not going to make them happy. So they want more. So yes, the patriarchal culture, it's the base, it's the seed of this wild capitalism, completely who murder and kill everything on this planet now. Because we're not going to speak about that here, but I hope you know that the capitalism now, it's nothing to have with the capitalism of the 70s, of the 60s. Now, the private company, they took the power on almost all the democracy of the planet. Democracy, it's a mirage, it's a lie. Of course, maybe it's better than a complete dictature. But you will see that all the people that you have the choice to vote for, they all are in this unique way of thinking. In French, we say la pensée unique. I don't know in English what we say. And what is la pensée unique? It's that we don't put again in question the patriarchal culture, who is a sadomasochist culture. Even the Pope said it. It's not a lie. So again, you are in this tunnel. So, okay. First tunnel, for example, you're going to have a guy with a barb or the symbol of the Christ. So what is important is to go, and if you take this door, what's going to happen? After the door, okay, you're going to speak with, let's say, a being who have the look of the Christ and or of the Father. And we say, okay, so you're going to speak with Jesus Christ. Okay, so, okay, that's good. You want to live in my spirit? Yes, completely. I've been a good Christian. I never cheat my wife. I've been wedding. I've hit my kids sometime, because sorry, but it's part of the religion too. And yes, and I stay with one woman all my life. And then the guy whose symbols Jesus Christ will say, but do you know that in the story of the Bible, in the story of the Catholic religion explain about me, did you know that I was not married? Did you know that I was with a girl called Mary Magdalena? And they call her a prostitute because, in fact, she was a free lover. Even the Catholics don't dare to lie about this. So, you come to me and you say that you follow my example and that you believe in the possession of each other. But me, I was not married. So, are you sure that you're not following a book who maybe teach you the exact opposite of what I teach? Because that's the secret, guy. The Christian religion, I'm sorry, or at least the Catholic religion, Protestant of course too, they teach the exact opposite of what we call Jesus Christ and the different Mary. And same for the Muslim. The Islam teach the exact opposite of the Prophet. The people who will follow the symbol of the Prophet, they will take this door, they will arrive, and then, okay, they will say, you want to live in my spirit? Okay, but what's my spirit? Okay, I've lived like in the Quran and say, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, but did you learn the Hadith? The Hadith are official texts of the Islam who explain how the Prophet Muhammad lived. And we realize that almost 14 centuries ago, he asked to the people of his tribe, he forbidden the people who want to make a wedding, forced wedding. He didn't want that the man hit the woman. He didn't want that the... So it's completely in opposition with the Islam. You understand? So, and again, what do you want? You want, because in this Islam they say that if you are a good Muslim, you will be in paradise with 1,000 virgins. So what do you want? Do you want to have the relationship of the Islam, so it means one woman for your life, or you want 1,000 virgins? Can't you see there is a bug, there is a problem? And slowly we will realize that the people don't think anymore, they just follow symbol. And they don't think anymore. Same for the Jewish. They have something, for example, in common with the Muslim. They circumcision, they cut a part of the sex. So the gods will say, okay, so you believe in me, in the high power of me, but you believe and you cut a part of the sex. I'm sorry, but to fact, the circumcision and the excision are made like this. Men and women have less pleasure in sex. How do we know that? Because some people, when they were 20, 30 or 40, they had an operation for some reason, and they cut their sex so they can see the difference. Of course you have less pleasure. Sorry guys. And I'm sorry, but in the name of life and nature, stop to make this horrible thing to cut the dick of your kids. Can you imagine? You make a ceremony, you drink alcohol. Welcome in the world of suffering. We cut your dick, little kids, and everybody's laughing about him. Come on, guys. This is not love. This is not the respect of the work of the divine. But again, the problem is that everybody can go back in paradise if they have enough knowledge. And that's what they say, that the truth will set you free. We set you free. Because, and that's the key of the apocalypse. That's the revelation that humanity is waiting for. And it's not me who is important, it's the message, okay? Don't confuse the message and the messenger, because it's the message who is important. And if you listen to this message and you cannot understand it, then it means you're part of the living dead people of this planet. It's full of living dead people. They just follow like sheep, waiting for the guardian. I don't know how we say in English, but again in the Bible they say, okay, come all the sheep, come with me, come with me. The shepherd. Do you want to have a shepherd? Do you want to be a sheep or a lion? Ah, that's different. Me, I don't judge. No, I don't judge. No, no, no. Because for me, everybody are here to make experience. And again, all the soul, usually the young soul, but other soul because they forget it, if they are not sure about the law of love, when Lucifer, even in the story of the Bible, he say, okay, come with me, we're gonna go and live in a reality where we will have no more law. We're gonna be free. We're gonna create a world with more love because, come on, we're tired of those law of love of mother and father. And then we came here. With a friend, we make a comics book that you can have on my website. This is my website in English. It's free. Who give you another point of view of the story of humanity, of the story of the soul humanity. Please read it. Because now that you are part of the few people who get this key, this apocalypse, because apocalypse means the revelation. So if you don't take it, if you say this is bullshit, so there is no, that you're not going to have the chance to choose again in the tunnel. You're going to make your choice now. So why the divine give this key now? Because the humanity cannot be destroyed. Do you know that there was a huge survey some years ago, and more than 90% of the population of the earth really believe that in fact the humanity is going to destroy itself, that there is no choice. And this humanity will continue. Why? Because we are at the end of the cycle, and it's time that all the form of life go back home. We explain this in the comics, in these comics. And then the body of human beings are very important, because with our body we can connect. When our consciousness is centered on our higher chakra, the 7th or the 8th chakra, our consciousness can connect ourselves with very, very high consciousness being. And when our consciousness is more down, and it's not bad, because what is healthy is to go up and down. Of course, stay up a lot, but go down too sometime. It's very healthy. You go down. And then you're going to be able to connect the being who are vibration, who have a consciousness of vibration very low. And now it's time that everybody go back home. And then the human are a kind of, in French we say l'arche d'alliance. I will make the translation here. We are a bridge to connect the divine and to connect the lower part. That's one of the signification of the candelabra with 7 candles. The candle of the middle is the future human being. The 3 candles on the left, it represents the divine, the archangel, and the angel. Of course, I use Christian words, but I could use other one, okay? And the 3 candles on the right, it's the minerals, the vegetables, and the animals. The human being will now slowly go out of the animal, the animal kingdom, if you want. And the difference is that he do things consciously. Something very important in the divine world is that you have to decide when you make children. And in the divine world, it's a rape that a man come in the body of the woman if they didn't decide before consciously to have a baby. And of course, it doesn't mean your kids are not wonderful. And if you make kids consciously, you will attract soul who are much more conscious. Sorry for my Hindi, French, Belgium accent. Huh? Do you know that the Hopi prophecy of the Indian of North America, they say that the revelation will come from Europe, from the area of France and Spain, from the mountain of the Pyrenees. Why? Because the chakra of the consciousness of the earth is in this area now. That's why you have those places like Lourdes. That's why if you take the real story of Mary Magdalena, we know that after the story of the crucifixion, who didn't really exist, but that's another story, she came by boat in the area of the south of France, in the mountain, because she knew that 2,000 years after, it's there that the revelation will come, will arrive. It doesn't make me a better guy than you guys, okay? I'm just a messenger, okay? Like the postman. But you must be so important that you're part of the few people who have this message now. Of course, I will develop more and more and more. Depending of how many people look this YouTube video, and if you want more, ask it. Put in the message, ask it, ask it, ask it. Many people say this ascension of the humanity will happen the 21st of December. I'm not so sure about it. For me, the prophecy is about the apocalypse. And the apocalypse is the revelation. So, this revelation will come. And if we mix the definition of apocalypse with destruction and with revelation, it's because now the revelation, the truth, the key, I call that the key, it's going to be like a virus who will slowly eat this reality where we live, to transform it in a divine world. Because now the divine world is coming here. But again, we explain this in the comics book. All the souls have chosen to live an experience outside the law of love. They decide to live the family of light. In the Bible, we call them the rebel. They made a rebellion against the gods. I don't like this word. It's a non-conscious way of thinking things. Me, I see that more like a teenage crisis of the soul. And it's okay. It's important to make a good teenage crisis. And it's important though the soul come to see, yes, every society who have those roots, wedding, growing kids in nuclear family, don't learn sex. You can find all these on my website in English. And let's make this clear. There is another rules. It's that the divine teaching must be free. It doesn't mean for that I condemn and I say that all the spiritual teachers are not good. They made a part of the work, but they didn't find the key. And this is the key. So all those souls, they decide for themselves that they want to live outside of the divine culture. It's their right, it's their choice. And in fact, they help humanity because like this they bring light where there was almost no light at all. And now, some of them will decide to go back in the divine world. And then the divine world will use their body to come into this reality. So in fact, they make a wonderful work. And it's a painful work. So, congratulations. So the idea is that the soul who want to come back in the divine world, they can. It's just a choice. No matter if you made horrible things in your life. What is important is that you choose for yourself. Again, you are in this tunnel. You want to follow the Buddha. Okay, you will arrive, you will meet Siddhartha. And then you say, okay, cool, so you want to live in my spirit. Yeah, I live in your spirit, I've done this. You know, I stopped this, I took refuge on you. But that's bullshit. You know that the Buddhists, they make this ceremony that they take refuge in the Buddha. Buddha, he never said that. All the religion teach the exact opposite of the people who inspired those religions. Because they became political tool to control the people. Come on, for a dictator, it's so cool to have people who are in the Catholic religion. The more suffer, the more you have chance need to go in paradise. Oh, but I'm going to make you suffer. That's what all the dictator thinks. And that's what people like me, Mr. Bush, really believe. And that's okay. I don't judge you, Mr. Bush. You made a wonderful world. You create a lot of suffering. And yes, all those people, they make their part of the job. And they create a world management team to stop the evolution of the humanity. They create the debt with bullshit. I hope you know that there is no debt. The debt comes just from the fact that since the creation, I think it was Abraham Lincoln, the Federal Bank, exactly 99 years ago, they stole the job to print the money. Before, let's say in a country like France, like in the 70s, because the General de Gaulle, he succeeded to keep this right to print their own money until the 70s. And in France, what happened 19 years ago in the state. Suddenly, it was President Giscard d'Estaing. Suddenly they say, we're going to stop to print our own money. Now we have to ask to the private bank to print the money for us, and they're going to ask us an interest. And it's the interest to create the debt. So if we want to, the only solution to this crisis, it's to cancel the debt and to give back to the people, to the country, the right to print their own money. But everything is for the good. And anyway, the whole games, we can resume it in that way. We are all spirit who are a unique part of the whole. Okay? Of the whole consciousness. And those little parts of the spirit, they want to explore the outside world. They want to explore what is above this consciousness. But they were scared to lose themselves in the trip. So they make a kind of copy of their spirit. And this is the soul. And the soul has made a wonderful trip. We call that the Big Bang, and start to go pushed by the masculine force, the outside force, to explore. And there is a link who connects the soul and the spirit. The target of the game is that the soul make a huge trip without to forget where she come from. And if she don't forget, then she can make the choice to come back home. But if she don't, if the soul forget, if she get lost into the world just to follow and stop to think by themselves, so the soul will be recycled, will die. But it's not a big drama, because the soul has a print, as the original print of the spirit, in the house of the spirit. We explain this in the comics again. But if the soul succeeds to make the path and to come back home, she keeps all the memory of all her incarnation. And then she will be much more strong. She's going to have much more divine power. Because in the invisible world, there is a lot of God and Goddess with different level of creativity. The more efficient gods are the gods who can create what they want to create and to live what they want to live. But for this, they need this huge experience. That's why, no, we are not nothing. We are not piece of shit, human being. And human being now is very important because we need to go back. To explain to all the form of life what's happening, because it's time to bring back everybody home. For this, you need to try to remember who you are, and you are a divine being. But the people, they are completely lost in the image they have of themselves, the image that our culture gives them from themselves. I call that the form thought. In fact, man and woman, they are not aware of their power of creativity. So they create by their third eyes and by their thought, they create what we call form thoughts. For example, when 1 million people go to see a movie like Alien, they see the monster with a lot of emotion, and in fact, they're going to create this being in an, let's say, in a special invisible world that we call in French the astral. The astral, it's a world who has been, if you want, it's a false divine world. It's an interface who is between our consciousness and the divine world. It's in the astral world that the soul go back between two incarnations. Because if the soul don't know, then they stop her. They don't have the power to stop her, but they can manipulate the soul. And they say, oh, stop, you are in paradise or you are in hell, depending of the, no matter what, but you can reincarnate yourself. But like the Buddhists say, we spend all our life to learn to die. Of course, for this, we need to have a fulfilled life. I was speaking about Buddha before. He said, oh, okay, so you start to cut yourself from the world. You didn't want to have sex. You didn't want to make a lot of things like the Buddhist. But me, the life of Siddhartha, I never done this. I was a prince. I had everything I want. The more beautiful girl ever. The more wonderful food. And then after, because I had everything, because I could experience everything, I realized that it was just wonderful to sit and to make home. But you make the reverse. You cannot deal with all those stuff, and especially the woman-man relationship, the sexuality, so you cut yourself from that. But that's the exactly opposite way. I love the Dalai Lama, like a man, like a political leader. I've been to listen to him many times. I read a lot of his message. You know that recently he said that he's wondering if we should continue to have Dalai Lama. Because a lot of people say, it's wonderful, Dalai Lama. Me too. But do you think it's fair to take kids? They can never have a girlfriend. They make mantra all the time. They cannot really be a children. They cannot learn life. For me, spiritual teaching of kids, it's not fair. The kids must evolve, and one day they're going to choose to follow religion or culture or whatever. But that's all what the cult made. And for me, sorry, all the religion are cult who succeed. But I don't blame them. Thanks the religion. We deem them for all this process. And again, if now we have this revelation like this, it's because there is not enough people to go in to come in the golden age. Because yes, the ascension of humanity will happen. We don't know when. It's going to happen when the situation will really look desperately. Why? Because like this, a lot of soul can choose. It's so simple than that. And then, if you want to be part of this humanity, it's very important. You must hold the flag of the divine world and of those values. You must don't be shy and say it around you. I don't say you must try to convince people, but the people who are close from you, yes. You have to accept to be part of a team who, up at a certain point of view, we can say it's extraterrestrial who invade this planet. And yes, me, I'm part of them. You are part of them too, but maybe you didn't realize it too. It doesn't make me better than you, okay? Again. And yes, we come to invade this planet because anyway, if we let the human do, they're going to destroy this planet and they're all going to die. So it's better that before we kick them all. So for this, there is some rules. If you want to stay, you have to say it to the people. You have to give the majority of your attention and of the energy of people who are in the same move than yourself. You have to accept to be part of a team, of a family of light, who will move the soul, body and soul of all the people who don't make this search outside of the planet Earth, because the planet Earth come back in the spirit of the divine. What is important is that you have to understand that every little wave, every things you say, every second you invest in your divine being, you make it stronger. It's like a balloon that you blow into it, it makes it bigger. And each time you spend your time in this other consciousness, it's happened to me too. Sometimes I'm in my victim, I'm in my scare, in my selfish being, in my being who want to possess everything. Then you invest in this. It's Christmas time. Christmas is the most important party of the Catholics. So the Catholics say we are here to suffer. So you have to understand that, yeah, by definition, Christmas is here to make us suffer. Why? Because it's the best moment. The 21st of December is the best moment to explore yourself, to invest in your divine being, to eat as light as possible. And if you are with people, it's with people who want the same spirit of you, and not especially with your biologic family. That's why after the 21, the solstice, the 24, they put Christmas. Wonderful. Like this, your little child, Christian child, is born the 21, and the 24, baf, welcome, he will have a good shock of the astral world. It's important that I explain to you more about this astral world. Again, the astral world is a little bit like in the movie The Matrix. It's a very good metaphor, okay? When the soul followed Lucifer and came in this reality, they really want to be sure that the soul didn't went back to the divine. So that's why they create this astral world where it's a kind of false heavens, a false divine world. But it's efficient, so that's where the soul goes. Lucifer is not a bad guy. Lucifer is in French we say is the one who carry the light, because his job is to carry the light in the dark part. So in fact, it's very important that all those souls make this job. And the very high divine being, they don't want to make this job anymore because it's too much suffering. So nobody is guilty of anything. And congratulations to all the men and women of this planet. Yes, it's promised we're all gonna go back home, let's say what we call the divine, the paradise. But some of us will go back home with their full divine power, and other one with less divine power. And if you want to have the full power, you have to choose and to understand the key, the stuff we have to learn in the ascension, or in the next life, or in afterlife. You have to follow only the people who have the key. The key is in one world. The divine world are in total opposite of the patriarchal culture. But you must be able to explain why, okay? If you want to know why, you go on my website. Again, I have nothing to sell. I don't make workshop, nothing. And you will have in English all the little steps of the patriarchal culture to explain to you why it creates suffering, why it's the seed of suffering all the time, and why it's not bad to experiment this. It's a paradox. So, this astral world. In the astral world, all our thoughts take life. I don't know if you know, but the Catholic religion, it's a religion like the other religion, who has been completely created in the year 350. It's officially, historically recognized for the people who of course, for this you have to read book of people who are not religious. But yes, we know it. And in fact, it's the Emperor Constantine who was what we call a pagan, I think you say, a païen in French, was living completely in a matriarchal system, but he was tired of those words of religion, so he decided to take a little piece of all the religion who was there and to make one religion. For example, the story of it's Noah, I think in English, who the god asked him to take a boat, to prepare a boat, to put plants, animals into this boat, then it rained for 7 days. This story comes from the summer culture, 3, 4, 5,000 years ago. When the American army came in Baghdad, one of the first things they made is to destroy the archaeological museum of Baghdad, because there they what we call the Sumerian tablets, who prove all what I say. So maybe you think you are shocked, but come on, do you really believe that the divine want to make you suffer? So in this astral world, there is a lot of being. But the most important one is the image we have from ourselves. That's really the most important one. Because this being, this form thought, really take form in the invisible world, in this astral world. And slowly, the people, instead of identify themselves with their divine part, they identify themselves with this astral part, who, like Marcel Proust said, our personality is mainly a projection from the thought that other people have from us. And in fact, that's why we say that somehow, to go back in paradise, we must accept to die, because it's the image of us and the image that other people have of us who must die. And of course, if you carry this flag, you will have the full help of the divinity for every material purpose and money, and there is no problem about this. But you will feel reject from the other people. It's normal. We come on this planet to explain them they don't really love. Okay, they love a little bit, but not too much. They serve a system who destroy the future of their children. for example, nuclear energy. I mean, we just for this, all the Western people should protest 24 hours, 7 days a week. Okay, come on. How can we put this nuclear wasted who will create problems for thousands of years? But don't worry, because in fact we live in a kind of dream. We don't really live in a real world. Of course, the nature is real, but the matrix is on this matrix, what I call the astral world. Let's say it's superposed to this nature world. So if you want to go back in the divine, you must give the authorization of your family of light who love you to disconnect yourself from the matrix, to reconnect yourself with the divine world. And for this, I know that's the more difficult. You have to be in a relationship mainly with people who are in the same spirit than you. Because otherwise, if, like many people, you have a boyfriend or girlfriend who is not into this move, then when you will be in the tunnel, one of the doors will be symbolized by your girlfriend and your boyfriend. The majority of the women we spoke about, we asked them, did your friend, your lover, is in the same move than you? Is involved? Does he take this? Does he want to carry the flag of this divinity as much as you want to? They say, no, but he really want to change. He really want to. This is not really love, girls. You want to change him. And because the patriarchal culture closed the woman in the mother aspect of the woman. Of course I love the mother aspect of the woman, but the religion wants that the woman stay only mother. And I'm sorry, we need warriors too. Okay, so some women are really here, it's very clear, they want kids, and that's wonderful, it's their mission. But it's not true that all the women are here to be mother. So I don't want to be tough, but I'm going to give you an example who is very tough. You know Adolf Hitler. He used to ask to the woman to serve the country by respecting the 3 keys. I'm not so good in German, but the 3 keys, it's like Kinderen, kids, Köken, kitchen, and key like the Kerk or the Christ. I'm sorry, but 100 million of women on the planet, they do exactly what Adolf Hitler wants to. Can't you see the problem? And the problem is that people, they don't think by themselves. And that's why the soul who are not able to think by themselves and who just follow symbol without thinking, but they cannot stay on the planet. Because we cannot teach them, because they cannot think by themselves, because in the divine world, there is no fixed hierarchy. It's bullshit. Everybody have the same rights. It's real equality. Try to go out of this pressure, of the peer pressure of the religion. And some of you, you say you are not religion. But how to know if we are religion? But it's simple. Do you follow what I call the order of the Pope, or the order of the Jewish, or the order of the Muslim, of the order of the Buddhism, of the Hinduist? Come on. God has no religion. And the truth is that the creation never works with only one God. We create in team. Woo! All time. And there is a God and a goddess, of course. And they live in a family. Because every little God has a part of the key. And if we are, for example, 12 people, it's a very good group, then you have the 12 different aspects of the creation. And then you start to really create more what you really want to. New Age, it's a new religion. And I'm sorry, even if I learn a lot from all the big spiritual teachers of the New Age, no one of them give you the key. Because the truth is that the spiritual teachers are here to paint the present in pink. And it's okay, they make their part of the job. And they didn't really have access to the key. But now, it's the time of the revelation. And this is the key. And I don't ask you to follow me, I don't take followers. I ask you to follow the key. But first to really understand the key. Because if you just go in the tunnel and say, this is the key. But then they will ask you, okay, so why, for example, why is it really a bad seed to grow up kids in nuclear family, just father and mother alone? And again, I'm not against parents, okay? Because in this system, I completely agree that a lot of people don't have other choice than to grow up kids in a nuclear family or even alone, okay? And for me, every parent is superhero. So I'm not throwing you the stone here, okay? To nobody, okay? But come on, if you believe in only one God, you really believe that this God didn't create everything to give us the choice of something? Can't you see that the religion bring war almost everywhere? And it's okay. It's okay. I promise we all gonna go home one day. But do you want to be part of the choose one, the people who choose by themselves? Because in the divine world, you have to think by themselves and to choose by yourself. You are the God at the moment you start to choose by yourself. And whatever happens, it could be big ecological catastrophe, or big earthquake, tsunami, everything. We live in a dream, okay? We live in a kind of video game. In another reality, somewhere, we are laid down, like in the Matrix. And we live like in a kind of video game. This video game, this reality, is here to teach us. To teach us like this, we don't really hurt ourselves and we don't really hurt other people. Because we are all creating our own reality. There is no victim. Victim, again, is a patriarchal stuff. There is no victim. Of course, there is a lot of things unfair in this world. Yes, of course. Oh, yes. It's terrible. And come on. Look, the religion, all the big dictators, the religion are with them. All of them. This is what you call love. Because it's the time to choose, guys. And we want you, we need you, because you're wonderful. But if you prefer to continue to serve humanity by going down and to explore another part of the darkness of the multiverse, because it's not the universe, there is a lot of universe, then thank you in the name of the creation. Me, I would like a little bit to go out of this world of suffering. Really. And yes, one day the ascension will happen. And it will happen when we're going to be ready. When enough people will make this choice. Because we need all the people who made this choice before to die or before the ascension will be part of the future team of gods and saints who will encadrer in French. I will put the translation inside. Who will help all the other to come. Because you have to understand that all the kids will stay on earth. Only not those who have too much religious programmation, okay? Because if it's too deep, it's too deep. But all the kids who are still pure of those programmation. And we need people who have more knowledge to help them. Because suddenly, oh, they're going to appear in a new world, and if nobody is here to explain to you, okay, what's happened, they're going to be scared. And yes, if you carry this flag, almost all of your friends will change. That's part of the deal. It's normal, you know. We come here to invade this planet. We give very strict rules and conditions for the soul who want to stay. And we're going to take all the kids and educate them ourselves. So it's normal. Unconsciously, all the soul know it's happening. So it's normal. It's okay that they are pissed off. Don't feel attacked, because each time somebody attacks you or send you hate, in fact they send you energy. In the New Age we say we can send love or we can send hate. It's bullshit. You send attention. And every time you send attention to something, you make it stronger. So me, sometimes I'm a little bit asleep, and then somebody comes to aggress me in the street of stuff. I can take it like a victim, but then I'm losing my center. But I can take it like a God and say, oh, I create this. Oh, thank you. Wow, you awake me. So it's going to be a first video because it's an important moment. I will put it on YouTube, and depending of if a lot of people want to know more, then I will continue to make other one in English, okay? Carry this flag. It's not me who is important, it's you. Because you must be so precious to get this message now, okay? Humanity needs you. Yes, this world of magic exists. The real reality is much more close than the Lords of the Ring that what they teach us at school, of course. And anyway, no matter what's happened, never forget that we all love each other since ever and for eternity, even if it doesn't look like all the time. Okay? I love you. I love you. I feel loved by you. And you are another myself. And like the Maya say in Lakesh, goodbye, other myself. I say goodbye, but I should not say goodbye, in fact. I say welcome. Because we don't need to meet each other. We are connected forever. And after the ascension, we will be here all together, like this. I didn't come here to tell you how this story gonna end. I came here to tell you how this story gonna start. And it's gonna start by you.